Welcome, everyone. Can you hear me? I feel like I'm triple mic'd over here. How's everyone doing today?
Feeling good.
It's International Women's Day, but as we know, we include men in everything we do at Dress for Success. So I'm glad that I see some men in the room. That's really important to us. I'm Melissa Tenzer. I'm the CEO of Dress for Success, Central New Jersey. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we do. But first, I want to say, International Women's Day is so important to us because we're an international company. We're global. We help women, millions of women throughout the whole world, which is really, really great. And it's the day to celebrate. So thank you for having me. Myself, just recently, I came from Trenton Central High School. All day we had a girls' conference, and it was wonderful. We had hundreds of girls there, and we taught them self-love, self-acceptance, and financial literacy. And it was just a conference with really strong, wonderful women. So I'm glad that I made it here on time. I'm going to go through a little bit of the history of Dress for Success and why we think you should get involved and volunteer and do all those great things with us. There we go. Like I said, Dress for Success is an international company. And Dress for Success here in Central New Jersey, our closest office probably is New Brunswick. We also have one in Lawrenceville. We serve 2,400 women and youth in 7 counties. And then Dress for Success overall worldwide started in 1997, and we are in 139 cities and 22 countries. And we have once a year, we do a summit with all women. And I'm usually one of the speakers that talks about growth and affiliates because we're one of the top 3 internationally as far as doing programs serving women and making sure that we make an impact in the world. Our mission is to empower and achieve economic independence, providing a network of support. And our vision is that no women are treated with dignity and respect and are empowering to provide stable lives for their families. And the people we serve, it's everyday people. Some of our women come to us because they're transitioning in jobs. Some of our women have come out of incarceration, have been homeless, but all of our women are equal, and that's what it's about. You can find yourself in a hard time anytime in your life, but with the different programs we have, we meet the women where they are so that they feel secure coming into one of our centers. Here's the counties that we serve. Probably most of the people in this room live in this county. So this is the county that we served here at their local affiliate. And then this is a little about some of the offices that we have. We have the main office boutique in Lawrenceville. And what's really great about that is we have sales on a regular basis. So you can come in the boutique and you can shop for your family, you can shop for yourself and find some really, really good deals there. We also have the Trenton Central High School where we have a business academy within the high school. And we felt that working with the youth was so important as they're embarking on their careers, thinking about going to college and all of those great things. We teach them all of the skills and programs to be able to help them get there. We have 2 programs per month. We do financial literacy, resume building, interview skills, self-love, and today we did self-acceptance. So Simply You, Women Aware, some of you may be in this area in Middlesex. We have a center there, which is in the safe house. So women that are coming out of the Justice Center, they come a lot of times with just the clothes on their back, or they have a bag and they have nothing. They have no clothes, they have no bras, they have absolutely no support. So when they come to us, we give them the clothes, we give them the food, we give them the tools to be successful and to be able to regain their life. And when we say we're at Women Aware, we actually have a Dress for Success office inside of the shelter. So we're working there on a weekly basis, making sure that the women know that they have the support. And as they grow, we also help them with other resources in the community, and we hook them up with other community partners. And then we have another family justice center, which is 180 Turning Lives. And again, it's another shelter that we work in Monmouth County. So again, the women are coming in and it's small grouping where sometimes we might have a seminar where we have 50 or 75 girls. When we're talking about going to a shelter, it's usually 10 to 15. And we have certain program managers that work with that have a lot of empathy and that can really work and counsel with the women. Our women in our stories. We're going to tell some stories today, but we have a financial literacy program, but we also have a Latino empowerment program. And we do that all over the state. And that's something that Dress for Success Worldwide wants to do internationally. And the reason why is because we felt that that was an invisible community. And I'm going to give you a story. The first time we did our program about 3 years ago with the Children's Home Society, a woman graduated from our 9-week program. And she was so excited that she was graduating, and we gave her flowers, and she was there every day in the program learning and growing. And when she went home that night, she told us this story. When she went home that night, she said to her son, I finally graduated from something. I didn't graduate from high school. I never went through a full program. I finally graduated from something. And her son started crying and saying, I'm so proud of you. I know now that I can graduate from high school. So that's the type of impact that the programs have. It was so great to hear that she was so happy, and she's one of our ambassadors as well. And then we have people that come to us. Sarah is somebody that came to us recently, and she was living, she was in a domestic abuse situation. She did have her education. She had her bachelor's degree. She thought she was going to be a writer. She had her whole world in front of her. And then something happened within the marriage. She found herself in a bad situation. She came to Dress for Success, was with us for 3 or 4 months. When she came into the office, she couldn't even hold her head up. She couldn't look at anybody. And then by the time she left, she was in a sisterhood of women that have been through the same situation as her. And now she is a national global ambassador for Dress for Success. It's amazing. And she has a book that she wrote as well. So we're just so proud of her. And then here's some of the programs that we do. Like I said, every office is different. Every affiliate's different. We do this throughout the state, but image enhancement means when someone's coming in to get the clothes, it all starts with the clothes, but it doesn't end there. So somebody comes in and says, I have an interview at BMS. I need an outfit to wear. And they come into the boutique and they get those clothes. And then when they get the job, they get 5 outfits. So they are ready each and every day to be able to make their mark on the job and not feel insecure about, I have nothing to wear. What are people going to think of me? So we give the handbags, the shoes, the clothes, and the outfits. Designing Your Future is our best workforce development program. That's a program where we bring in mentors, we bring in community leaders, maybe even some of you here, that can help them with their resumes, that can mentor and be able to get them to the next level. Latino Initiative I spoke about. We have a career center where if anybody needs resume writing skills, we talked about that today at Trenton Central High School. Even though we have an academy there and we teach classes, we have them come back to do one-on-one counseling at our center in Lawrence. And then we have customer service excellence, presenting your best self, and then other workshops that we do, leadership, civic engagement, and things along those lines. I talked a little bit about the boutique, but these are some of the volunteer opportunities that you can get involved in. We have pop-up shops, which has been a crazy year for us because we take the clothing on the road and we put all the clothes into our cars, into vans, if we have vans that day, and then we bring them to the client. So if we're working somewhere, we don't have to say, come to our boutique in Lawrence, come to our boutique in Middlesex. We are going to come to you. And if you have 30 women, we'll get the sizes in advance, we'll get the bags, we'll get everything, and we'll meet you where you are so you're comfortable in your own home. Because a lot of times people are in circumstances where they don't want to leave their environment. And then we have inventory sales that I spoke about. We have online sales. We have donation days. This is a really good opportunity for people to get involved. It's almost unbelievable on donation days how many people come into our offices. We just open up the floodgates, and I never say no, and people just come in and they drop off their clothes. And purse sales and handbag sales and donations are really important as well and really good for our women. We run out very quickly. And then here's some of the volunteer opportunities that you could get involved in. Personal shopper. Career Center volunteers. That's where we see most of our men in the Career Center because you can do it virtually or you can do it in our Career Center at one of our offices. So people say, oh, I definitely don't, I'm not an HR person. I really can't write resumes. If you can do your own resume and you can do your kids' resumes or your friends, you can do a resume. Because remember, the women are coming with the template that we have and they just need your insight. So it's important to know that almost anybody can do the career services as long as you have empathy, as long as you put the time in to really work with the person that's coming to us. Boutique services, program volunteers. Like today, we had a program for the Girls Summit, and we have some of our volunteers running around helping the girls with their journals, helping them get from room to room. And then inventory sales and clothing. Transporting, which is a big one. We are always looking for people that have vans. So important to us. We do many events. We don't get money from the state. Basically, we do all fundraising to be able to get money in for our programs. So we get foundations, we get corporations to sponsor us, and then we do events to raise money and also to raise awareness. So just this week, we had an event at the Lobby Club, which was really Aisha and I, right? We were there together. That was like a really, really great event. And it was all community members in the Trenton area that work with us at Trenton Central High School and in the state. And then we have a June event. We have one in November. And these are some of the events that you can get involved in and support. And then we have Mina's Boutique, which is an online boutique, and all of the proceeds go back to our programs. So that's basically Dress for Success. The stories that I said of our women are just so, so important. We saw 2,400 women last year, and everybody has different circumstances that they come to us with. So we have a client today that I met her. Well, I've met you years ago, but I met you at the Gail King. We had Gail King coming to our New York conference, and we were trying to get the picture with Gail, and she was there, and we're so excited. And Talbot supported us, and you said to me, if you ever need me to be an ambassador, let me know. And an ambassador is somebody that goes through the Dress for Success programs, comes out on the other side and says, I want to share my story to inspire other women, to let people know what Dress for Success has done for me and my life. And it's a really big deal. Somebody could come to us a year or two after coming through our program. Some people never come to us, and some people it's 5 or 6 years. So it's really important that people know that you can get to the other side and you're brave enough to tell your story. It's really important. So without further ado, I would love for you to come up and tell us a little bit about your Dress for Success history. Oh, what do we do with this? I think we just hold it, right? Still this from here. Do you have a pop in there? There we go. I think it works. Maybe she can hold it because it's lucky. You know what? Let's do this.
Look at this innovation.
Does this work? Can you guys hear me? Thank you, Melissa and Aileen. This is, just like she said, this is the second time they've let me speak this week, and I'm happy to share my story with you guys. So what led me to Dress for Success? I had a lot of issues, but I could boil it all down to just one thing: homelessness, but not regular homelessness, chronic homelessness. So I started living independently around age 19 or 20. When I left home, I just took my younger brother. He was age 4 at the time. I didn't have any children yet. I didn't have any type of plan, any savings. I didn't have anything, just a job, and we just left. Up until this point in my life, I had always worked, but I primarily used my money for manis, petties, cute hairdos, cute outfits, looking cute, mostly. I didn't have any type of concept of budgeting, saving, investing, the ins and outs of credit, and the importance of paying bills and paying them on time. If only I had been referred to Dress for Success at this point in my life, I might be here telling you all an entirely different story. From this point in my life, it seemed I got evicted almost every year or 2 years. No matter how hard I worked, I could never turn my temporary assignments to permanent, long-term, gainful employment. Every time a temporary assignment ended, I would fall behind on my bills and ultimately get evicted and lose everything. When I was first referred to Dress for Success, it just started out as a way for me to ditch out on these classes that I had to take from being on welfare. I just wanted, anywhere was better than having to be in that classroom. But the first time that I got suited by Dress for Success for a job interview, I looked like a CEO. I felt like a CEO. And I did get that job. So just like Melissa said, once you are a client and you secure a job, you get invited to join a professional women's group. Back when I joined, we used to have these monthly meetings. We could bring our children. Dress for Success will provide dinner for us, give us a caretaker for our kids, some activities, and us women could hash out important woman stuff, right? Funny thing about me though, during those times, I never brought my kids. I never brought them. I used to tell my husband, the women's meeting is this week. Now make sure you cook dinner, give the kids baths, and send them off to bed. Because my meetings was a source of respite. I'm not bringing those kids with me. This is a break from my family. So those was the good old days. But it's been a long road since then, since that first day coming into Dress for Success offices. Since then, I've gone to college. I graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Information Technology and Information System Security. And now, thank you. Now, I'm a first generation college graduate. When I found myself struggling in class during college, I was dying in this class. I was a JavaScript class, and I had no type of program experience or anything. I was dying in this class. I already went to the Barnes and Noble. I bought the JavaScript book that was made by the Java developers. I bought Java for Dummies. I could not get it. And one day, in an act of desperation, I sent a group message to my PWG sister, and I said, does anybody know JavaScript? Anybody? And one of my sisters replied and said, my fiance, he's a programming master. Is it okay if I pass your number through to him? And she did. And he called me on the phone, and I just couldn't get it. And he came to my house and he sat with me, and he pulled out those books and he referenced things with me. He helped me to write that program. And it was a 6-week course. He was there every week for me. He was not my PWG sister, but he held my hand through that. And when the class was over and I got my final grade, B-. I got my final grade. He even followed up with me and said, hey, how'd you make out on that program I helped you out with? Did it perform the calculations? Did it give the correct outputs? How did it go? He held my hand all the way through. So that was a long time ago. Even up until this day, though, I still struggle like so many other women. Just 5 years ago, on this very day, my family was homeless. It did end after 17 long months. And our last day of being homeless was March 22nd, 2019. I vowed to never, ever allow that to happen again. So,
Damn.
what do you do when you know where you want to go,
3 feet.
but you don't know how to get there? Or if you know how to get there, but there are barriers preventing you from getting to the other side. You need a community of women who have traveled that path and found their way to the other side. Dress for Success brings together
know how to
multiple
accurately measure.
generations of women with diverse backgrounds and life experiences, so you do not have to feel alone in your struggle. Their door is open, and all you need to do is walk in. So, why do I continue to come? I found my my career. I'm making money, and I'm learning to manage my finances. Dress for Success didn't build me, but they did fortify me. I haven't made it to the other side yet, and there'll certainly be more obstacles to overcome. I'll be ready for whatever comes because I already know I can do anything. So thank you for your time today.
That was amazing.
I don't think we need the microphone
Okay.
back after this, but anyway, I just want to say today we were at Trenton Central High School, and I'm actually getting choked up. So we had all of the women at the conference, and they gave us all these crowns because they say we're trying to build confidence in people, and I'm going to pass mine to you. I know, it's only getting choked up. You are the queen. That was the conference I just came from. Yeah, I know. It means so much. It's very hard to get up and do that stuff.
It is.
Yes.
Melissa's so warm. I love her, y'all. I love her. If you ever get to know her closely, she's a beautiful person.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So I wanted to open it up to questions, but Dress for Success, we help so many people and it's more about the programs. We're not all public speakers. We're here today to get people to volunteer and to get you engaged with the cause. Even though we internationally do programs, it's always for the women. So that's what I did, like I said, all day today. We had the women and they gave us the crowns and I just felt like I just came from there. I drove right from Trenton Central High School to here and you deserve that crown because it is about building the confidence. It's about really self-acceptance is what we teach. And it's self-love and, transferable skills and all of that, but it's loving yourself first and building the confidence from the inside out. So the clothing matters, but everything else is what we bring together. We bring the sisterhood of people graduating from all of our programs and going into the professional women's group that she talked about. So if somebody's in a tough situation, they go through all of our programs. How do you feel now? We get them the job and then we put them in the professional women's group where they can learn even more how to deal with a difficult boss, how to get your next raise, how to be able to own your home and never become homeless again. All of these things that really brings a woman to that next level is what we do at Dress for Success. So I wanted to open it up for questions. If anybody has any questions for myself or, oh, sure, go ahead.
I have two questions. The first one is, what is the minimal task required for a woman to accept it for a position?
Mhm. 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 Right.
Is there any criteria that they do to be accepted?
That's a good question. So most of the women organically are referred from other charities. So we work with Homefront, we work with Catholic Charities, we work with all of these other social service agencies throughout the states that say, have women that are in need, we're going to refer them to your program. But we also take people that just call us on the telephone that may have said, you know what, I'm going through a hard time, a divorce. Can I get into one of your programs? But most of the women, I would say 98% of the women are underserved and they need our services. So, when the Girl Scouts come in and volunteer, they're like, well, why would everybody in the whole world come here? The little Girl Scouts say to me, well, if you really need help, you're going to go. If you have a family member or you have a mentor, you might go to them first. But if you don't have that network of support, that's where Dress for Success comes in. And like we say, when you step your foot in the door, you're in there for life. You can become a member. You can, again, become an ambassador. And what's really important about the ambassador is this is only her second time coming out. Isha's second time coming out to speak. And it's very, very difficult. And even for me to see you and know you for so long, how far you've come, it makes me so proud. I even get a little bit choked up over that as much as I do it on a daily basis to see someone get to the next level, support their family, for me to meet your mom and for you to be a part of the whole network. It's something that's just really beautiful to us. And I try to stay involved in, right, Aileen? I try to stay involved in some of the women, but really I travel and I'm supposed to be more national and doing all of these bigger things. But then I come back to the office. I can't help but pop myself into some local programs and be as involved as I can be because I want to be there for the women. Any other questions that people may have? Don't be shy. I don't want to have to do what I did at Trenton Central High School and point people out. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead. Mhm. That's a really good question because the workforce has completely changed. It's much more casual. So we do have some suits in the office for when people are getting that first interview. So they come in and they have an interview suit because they have to have something really special on for that first impression. And after that, we have jeans, we have slacks, we have casual clothes. And especially at Trenton Central High School, we have a whole boutique there. And it's a little harder for us because I have a certain style. And even though I think I'm a fashionista and a fashion expert, as Aileen calls me, I don't know what the young girls are liking. And, I can learn from my daughter, but keeping it relevant is important. Having people that kind of mirror the clients that we're working with is important to make sure that at Trenton Central High School that we don't have any, as they say, old lady stuff, and they can spot it. They can spot it. They'll say, "What is this doing in our boutique at Trenton Central High School? This is a little old lady-ish," they say. I'm like, I had nothing to do with that, believe me. But that's the funny part is we need to have volunteers of all different ages. We need men volunteers. We also work with the Father Center in Trenton where they help the men, and we do have men in our programs. So we help women with just the clothing. But when we're at Trenton Central High School, we're at the community colleges. Men come into our programs because it's all about workforce. My background, like I said, is I owned an employment agency. And when I came to Dress for Success, I wanted to bridge the gap from what I was seeing. You know, people were trying to get jobs and they didn't have the computers, they didn't have the mentors, they didn't have anyone that's going to teach them that confidence and to be able to know that you're worthy to get that job that you see on Indeed or wherever it is. You just have to work for it. You just have to work towards it and know that you can handle that. Because a lot of times they say, "Oh, I only have 75% of what they're looking for. I don't think I can do that job." The confidence to say, you don't have it all, but you know what? You can work towards that goal and it's not a big stretch. So we teach our women to know your worth and know that you're worthy of that job. Not saying change your resume to match what the job description is. That's not what I'm saying, but say that, you know, you can work towards that goal and you can earn higher wages and you are worthy of all of that. So any other questions? I see someone, oh, someone in the back and then we'll come right up to you. Actually, we do, and we would love your computer. I do have to say that we we would love your computer. You know, it's something that we haven't really thought about lately, which is really funny. We do get some grants where we get some computers, and we have a career center, but the computers are getting old there. So when people give us the computers, we can update them to our system, and we do, and that's something that actually all of these conferences make me think a little bit more. We do need more computers, and we would accept computers. Thank you. Yeah, sure. Hmm. Good question. So, in the boutique at Trenton Central High School, it's all free and there's no limit to it. So today, actually, I just, it's resonating with me. I was in the classroom, I was doing the conference and there was hundreds of girls there. And then we did some breakout sessions. And in one of the breakout sessions, I said to some of the girls, who has been to our boutique? Because there's thousands of kids at the high school who has been to the Dress for Success boutique. And the young girl said, "I've been to the boutique." And I said, "Oh, did you get something?" And she goes, "I get all my clothes there. I haven't shopped in a year and a half. I get all my clothes for free from Dress for Success, and we need that. I needed that. Thank you so much." I couldn't even believe it because I didn't even think we go there so often that some people in Trend Center High School may not shop otherwise. And we know, we don't say, "Oh, you can only come in for one item or two items." We know when people come in, if they're getting a lot of items, that they need them. We are trusting that people are being fair and that they're not taking them and selling them online or anything along those lines. So it's important. And it's funny because this one girl that was there said to me, I really, because of Dress for Success, wanted to switch my lunch period. And I said, "What do you mean?" She goes, "I'm in the third lunch period. By the time I get there, all the people got all the good stuff." so so I gave her and all of the people that were in that classroom third period vouchers. You don't know this yet. Vouchers to come to the Dress for Success boutique in Lawrence, because I'm like, I can't switch your lunch period. That's not my job. I don't really work here at Trenton Central High School. But here's vouchers for all of the people, all the women that are in the third period, so you can come to our bigger boutique in Lawrence where there's tons of clothes. So yeah, she was really excited about that. Even at the end, we had our little, you know, queen crowns on together and she was taking selfies with me. She loved it. She loved it. So again, people need that and it makes it easier in the family if they're getting free clothes. We get so many donations and that's where corporations come in. You say, "Oh, you know, we're doing all this clothing donation. Is that too much?" Here it might be if we're coming to you to take all the clothes back at the end of the day. But in our boutique, if you do a clothing drive here and you can bring the clothes to us, we do always need clothes. I mean, because we, like I said, the inventory goes out so quickly. Any, Yeah, absolutely. I think that people today, we're talking about that they're 18 years old and they have to take care of their 4 or 5 younger children, that they have cousins that come over that live in the neighborhood for dinner. And that this one girl in the classroom today is like, I cooked for 15 people last night. So, they don't have time to go out and shop in some cases and do all these other things. They're taking care of their relatives and family. So that's a good question. And then childcare is just so expensive. And that is something that really hinders people from getting jobs. If you're making minimum wage, and you need to be able to get the daycare, it's very hard. So our goal is to try to bring people up to the next level, introduce them to different corporations that are hiring. On the Dress for Success board, we have a lot of HR people. They don't need to be in the career center, but we bring in corporations that can hire our women too. We are not an employment agency. I owned one before, but we can give them the tools and introduce them to some people that can really help them in their career of study. So. Yes. So I'm actually on the board of Mercer County Community College. I'm on the foundation board. I've been on there for, I don't know, like 15 years. But I love that board because we give out scholarships to students that are coming to Mercer County Community College. And because I'm at the high school with the academy and I oversee that, it's a real natural match for us to give scholarships to people from Trenton Central High School. And as we have been growing, we work with Middlesex College now as well. And we do some programming there. And we also have the women or the students, whichever, if it's, continuing studies or if it's people just going into the community college, referred back to some of our boutiques. So the colleges are really important to us, and especially the community colleges. A lot of people from Trenton do start at the community college and then go on to 4-year colleges or get a job. We do. We do a lot of intern programming. So for the Department of Labor, we see about, maybe last summer was 250 students, and we do programming for the Department of Labor. They called us and said, "Can you add us to your programming for all of the interns?" So we talk about career choices. We talk about transferable skills. All of these different things are going to help them decide what their career path could be. So yeah, we absolutely do. Yeah, that's okay. No, I don't mind. Mhm. 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 Yeah, we have donation days that are on our website. So if you go to Dress for Success Central New Jersey, we have all the donation days, and then you just put your name in one of the slots. We also have, if you're doing something for the corporation and you're doing a corporate drive, there would be one particular day that you bring it all over together, and we have volunteers. And the reason why we do it that way is because it's a volunteer organization, Dress for Success. We have, 15 staff, but they're all part-time on grants. They're all teaching programs. So when you go to our offices, there's not hundreds of people in there. It's hundreds of volunteers. So everyone out of the goodness of their heart gets involved with the cause and volunteers. Any other questions? Okay, so I think that wraps it up. And if you think of anything else, let us know. I'm glad you had us here today. Happy International Women's Day. We hope that we enlightened you on some of the opportunities that you can have here to get involved with our charity. So thank you.